Hey everybody. Here we are. It is January 7th, 2021. I think I'm online, so everything appears to be normal. And so I'm in a different kind of a different setup here. I've been pretty busy over break and painted my Zoom room so you can see that it is no longer Green Bay Packer green. It is a very nice neutral gray. And so I still have work to do. We're figuring out, the desk setup. I'm going to have two desks in here, so if my husband needs to work from home, he's got a place, and I'll be consolidating my cubicle downstairs up here and turning this into an office slash studio. And I got to work on the background and all of that stuff. So you can see different view today. So I am I'm just all, if you could see it, I should probably show you my setup. It's very tight. But anyway, thank you for joining me on the first Thursday in January, whatever, January 6th or 7th, I'm sorry, of 2021. So, is it a happy new year? I think that it is. I'm excited about 2021. I got a little bit of a heavy heart this morning or this today, just based on what's been going on in the country. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. As you know, I put together a discussion on resolutions and vulnerability, and I had it all prepared and was focused on celebrating what comes next. Like, this year is going to be our year. And I had bought poppers and confetti and all this stuff to have a really good time and have some fun. um, and chat with you about resolutions, which is, it's that time of year. And I don't know that resolutions really have that much of an impact anymore or that much of a tradition, but it is that time of year. And I felt I did not want to lose momentum or lose attention to the one thing that you chose or that I chose that was going to get us to where we wanted to go in order to support our why. So remember that from our 4-part series of Will 2021 lead you, or will you lead 2021? We talked about choosing that one thing we were going to work on this year to this group. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. And it's really an honor for you to put your time and your faith in me. If you aren't sure what I'm talking about, then I want you to watch episode 4. 1, 2, and 3 are fine, but if you want to just skip to episode 4, they're uploaded under the media tab in this group, and then it will explain everything that I'm talking about as far as your one thing, your where, and your why. So, as I just want to give you a little bit of an insight into how I prepare for our Facebook Lives. Typically, I am in a bubble. I am downstairs in my cubicle. I've got my husband's tennis racket museum, which I'll show you one day, all around me, and I block out everything. I block it out. I need to concentrate. I'm focused on my message. I'm focused on the discussion. I want to be sure that it's valuable. In addition to that, in the past month or so, I've deliberately reduced my attention, my attention to my personal Facebook page. So I'm on social media every day. You guys know that. And I'm on Facebook. I'm on my business. I'm in this group. I'm on my business page. I'm in LinkedIn. I'm a little bit on YouTube. But that's why I'm trying to master this digital marketing world. And so I'm online for my business. And I've made a deliberate decision to not really pay that much attention to my personal Facebook page. So I don't really go out on my Facebook news feeds. If I need to know about what's going on with the family, I rely on my daughter and my mom to keep me updated with what's going on. I've done that for a couple of reasons. One is time. It takes a lot of time, and I find myself just getting, wasting time or just spending a lot of time. I don't know if it's wasted, but spending a lot of time. The other reason is because I was seeing posts from my people, from my friends, from my family, from just people that I didn't really like the posts. I just didn't like the direction they were going. I didn't think that that was really aligned with who they truly are. And if they were talking to that person face to face, I don't think that that's what they would say. And so it wasn't really good for my mental health. I've been known for people to say that it is all about me. Well, in this case, it really is. I really did not want to get upset or worried or just frustrated with some of the things that people are saying on social media. So I have deliberately limited my interaction with my news feed. I've also done that with the news. I am a news person. I love to know what's current events. I love to know what's going on. And in the last couple of weeks, so you can imagine the reason why I've decided that I really was going to limit my news. You go out on Fox News and you get one opinion. You go out on ABC News, CBS, MSNBC, whatever, CNN, you get another viewpoint. And it's up to us to figure out what the truth is. And I believe the truth is someplace in the middle. It's probably a little bit of this and it's a little bit of that, and you got to throw it together, and that's the truth. Well, I don't have the time, the energy, or the patience to figure out what the truth is. So I decided that I was going to be aware of what's going on, but I was not going to be, watching the news shows and things like that. The reason I'm telling you this is not that I'm going to get political, but the reason I'm telling you this is because yesterday was a tough day. I knew what yesterday was. I knew January 6th, Congress was going to certify the president, Joe Biden, right? The new president and the new administration. I knew that was going to happen. I also knew that there was going to be protests and celebrations, and all of that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. So I wasn't burying my head in the sand. I don't believe in that. I believe we all have an obligation to know what's going on and to affect change where and when we can. But I didn't want to be consumed by it. Again, this is all for self-care and mental health reasons. I think I will be more of a service to you if I'm not involved in all of that stuff. Anyway, I received a text at about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and it was really disturbing. And I thought, what in the world is going on? What could possibly be happening? So it was 4:30. I had worked all day. I was tired. Came upstairs and thought, I'm going to have a cup of tea and I'll turn the news on and see what's going on. So I grabbed some tea, took my favorite blanket, wrapped up in my blanket, sat on the couch, put my feet up, and my cat, well, if you knew my cat, I'll introduce you to her one day if she allows it. She doesn't typically spend time on my lap. She loves my husband. And so yesterday afternoon, she wanted to hang out. So she jumped up in my lap and I was petting her, and it was really kind of a warm, neat moment. And so I turned on the news and I went, what? What is going on? I saw mayhem. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. But I saw mayhem in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I've been there. If you have not been there, you need to go. Not now, but you need to go. If you have been there, then you know what I'm talking about. It has an energy like no other city in the world. And I've been to plenty of cities, major cities around the globe, and none of them have the energy or the beauty that Washington, D.C. has. And I was watching people disrespect our capital. Our congressmen were hiding, waiting for the police to tell them that it was safe for them to come back to work so they could do their job, which they did, and I applaud them for doing that. I've been there and have sat in our congressman's office talking about the importance of international trade. And so as I'm watching these people destroy the halls that I've walked through, I got really upset. And I immediately thought, I can't talk about resolutions and vulnerability on my Facebook Live tomorrow. I can't do that. I can't ignore what is happening in our country, our divided country. Our friends are becoming divided. Our families are becoming divided. I can't ignore that. So I pivoted, which is the word of 2020, right? So if you're playing bingo, if you're playing along playing bingo, pivot should be on that on your bingo card. So I pivoted, and today we're not going to talk about resolutions, and we're not going to talk about vulnerability, although maybe I'm going to show it. A few days ago, before all of this happened, my husband and I were having dinner. We had rosemary lemon chicken. It was really good. And I was really upset. This whole thing has just, caught me in a tizzy. So I said to him, I feel so helpless. What can I do? What can I really do to change, to make change? I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And he said to me, he goes, well, you could run for office. Yeah, no, I am not running for public office. But it got me thinking. So yesterday afternoon at 4:30, as I'm watching the country implode on itself, I thought, you know what we could do? We could change just right here, right with us, right with you, right with me. So today we're going to talk about change, and we're going to talk about the circle of influence. So I'm hoping some of you may know about the circle of influence, some of you may not. And so we're going to go through this, and I want you to really think about it and share it. I want you to share it. I want you to share the concept. I want you to share the message, and hopefully it will resonate with you. So here we go. As you know, when I do my Facebook Lives, I am low tech because I haven't figured out how to share my screen yet, which I think is actually kind of fun. So usually you see me with a whiteboard. Well, today I've gone lower tech and we've gone to a flip chart. So I'm going to draw. And so the circle of influence, it's a very, very important concept. And you can use it. It's a business concept as well, but I'm going to use it for us in our community. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to draw a circle. It's a pretty good circle, actually. I'm going to draw a circle, and this circle out here is going to represent the world. Okay? It's hard to write on this. All right, so it's going to represent the world. Then I'm going to draw another circle. Okay? And this is going to represent your community. All right? So we're just taking it a little bit. Wow, it's really hard to write. I'm just taking it, we got the huge view, and then we're just going to bring it in more and more so you can see where your circle of influences. And that could also be your company. This here where it says community, it could be your company too. You can do a circle of influence for your company, which, by the way, I strongly recommend, but that's for a whole nother live event. All right, and then the middle, this is you. Okay, so this is you. And that's where your circle of influence is. Okay. So I want to chat a little bit. So for those of you who are playing along, I just need to move a piece of paper here. For those of you who are playing along, I want you to share with me. So when we talk about you and your circle of influence, what do you think, who do you think you have in your circle of influence that you can influence, right? Who is around you that you can influence? And I'm going to start off with you, right? You can influence you. How do you do that? Well, you do that by your actions, right? Your actions can influence yourself. It can influence others. You can lead by example. Your words. Oh my goodness. Your words, please. Can I get an amen? Your words can influence others and yourself, right? Your thoughts, all of that, that's you. That can influence you. So that's circle of influence. You start with you. I want to throw thoughts up here because that's a good one. Thoughts. Your thoughts can influence your actions and your words. When it comes to social media, words are so powerful, so incredibly powerful that you can't get them back. Once they go out, you cannot pull them back in, right? It's like putting toothpaste back into a tube. It doesn't work. Same thing if you type them on social media. You can't take them back. You can delete the post, sure, but odds are somebody's already seen it. You know, years ago, I'm not sure if Amanda, my daughter, is watching, but if she is, sorry, Mike, we raised our children, and I always said this one phrase, and it was, use your power for good, not evil. Always use your power for good and not evil. And we all have power and we all have influence. And words are powerful. And so you need to use them for good. And that's basically my message today. But who else do you have in your circle of influence that you can influence? You have family, right? So we have, let's see here. We have family, right? You can influence your family members. You have your friends. My goodness gracious, you have your friends. Now, when I say friends, I'm not only talking about your BFFs, right? So I'm not only talking about those people that text you, that you talk to on a regular basis, that when we could go shopping, we would go shopping with them, or when we could go out for coffee, we'd go for coffee with them. I am talking about them, but I am also talking about your social media friends, your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, your Twitter followers, your Snapchat people, your community. You might be that type of person, which is fine. I didn't mean it the way that it sounded, but you might be the person that when somebody friends you, you look at them and go, oh, they're a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Sure. So your influence, your Facebook friends could be 300 people large. It could be 1,000 people, could be 20 people, but that they are in your circle of influence. What you post, they will see. And you don't know what type of an impact your words will have on them. So remember, use your power for good. Okay, so we've got our family, we've got our friends. Who else do we have? Coworkers. Yeah, coworkers. I feel like somebody's here with me and I'm talking to a group of people, but I'm not. So coworkers, yes, we have our coworkers. They are in your circle of influence. So we've got our world, our community, our family, and our friends, right? This is where you reside right here. So here's the idea of the circle of influence. I'm going to use a different color because I have plenty of them. The idea is this. In order to make change in the world, which we need to do, it starts with us. It starts with you. It starts with me. And it starts with your circle. So you influence for good, use your power for good, with your people here in your immediate circle of influence. So you've influenced your family, your friends, you've changed your thoughts, your actions, your words, you are mighty, 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 and your coworkers. And so you've done this. So you have expanded your circle of influence, right? You've made change because you've impacted these people along with yourself. Then from there, you're going to go to expand it further, right? These folks are going to go and expand it within their own circles of influence. And this is just a natural thing that will happen. You need to be sure that you are leading. So you lead and then you hit your community, you hit your company, right? Your company, we talked about company. And so your circle of influence continues to expand. And that is how we change. That is how we change the world. So, although I felt helpless a couple days ago and was really upset, still am, yesterday, I know that it starts with me and it starts with you. I don't normally bring my faith into these Facebook discussions, but I need to, because in time of crisis, I go to my faith. And whether you are a Christian or whether you're whatever you believe in, or maybe you don't believe in a higher power, it doesn't matter. You still need to hear this lesson. It is from Jesus, but it is critical. So I'm just going to read from Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. He says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is love your neighbor as yourself." So basically, be kind and love your God. Be kind and love one another, and love God and be kind. And so I wore this shirt today. You can see it. And it says, "Work hard and be nice." So this shirt was a gift from my mom for my birthday last year, and I love it. And I thought it really was applicable because it says be nice. And we're talking about using our power for good and using our words and our actions for good to start change. So be kind and love one another. We need to change our language, change our actions, lead by example, and expand our influence to change the world. So it starts here, ladies. It starts here. It starts with you, and it starts with me. So I wish everybody a fabulous day, and this is the first day of the rest of our lives. Let's make it. Let's make a difference. I love you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you next Thursday. Take care.